My dear child, if you truly believe in the presence of angels and the guidance of the divine, please take a moment to start this video and watch it all the way to the very end. This is a profoundly important message meant specifically for you today. Do not look away or ignore these words, but instead give them your full and undivided attention. There is an active movement occurring right now in the unseen spiritual realm, something that you have already sensed deep within your soul during your quietest moments, but could never fully explain to others. It is a persistent feeling that creeps into your thoughts late at night and continues to whisper to you in the dark hours just before the dawn arrives. You have tried your absolute best to dismiss this lingering feeling, trying hard to make rational sense of it or convince yourself that you were simply imagining things, but the heavy unease in your chest simply would not go away. It has not left your side because it was never just a stray thought, a simple suspicion, or a case of you being far too careful with your heart. This persistent internal nudge is actually the protective voice of someone heavenly who watches over you night and day. This is direct guidance from a spiritual entity that is far more awake and aware than your physical eyes have ever been since the day you were born. Look back once again at the specific moments in your recent past that simply did not add up, no matter how much you tried to justify them. Think deeply about the sudden shifts in their tone of voice and the subtle but undeniable changes in their behavior whenever certain topics arose. Think carefully about the specific name that kept coming up naturally in your life, but never seemed to stay long enough in the clear light of day for you to examine it properly. That initial letter M is not just a random character anymore, but it is a distinct sign that has been placed before you many times, even though you repeatedly refuse to look at it. Why did you choose to look away from the truth for so long? You did it because you desperately wanted to trust them, because you were completely tired of doubting people, and because you felt a deep sense of guilt for not believing the absolute best in someone you cared about. However, you must remember that the pure truth is never afraid of being questioned, whereas deception is the exact thing that always runs away and hides from the light. The specific person whose name begins with the initial letter M holds something dark in their silence that they have not revealed to you yet. This person carries a heavy secret that walks right beside you on a daily basis, while you remain completely unaware of the danger it poses to your peace of mind. That negative presence tried its hardest to disguise itself as genuine kindness, as a supportive friendship, or as a bond formed through shared pain and mutual understanding. Underneath all of those beautiful lies, though, there is a calculated plan moving against you, which is an agreement that was made entirely without your knowledge or consent. There has already been a secret meeting, a private conversation, and a quiet whisper shared between two people. And one of those individuals is the person who carries the initial M. The true purpose of that secret meeting was definitely not to lift you up, nor was it to speak good things over your future or celebrate your success. Have you noticed that every single time you finish talking to this person, you feel completely drained of your energy, as if life was pulled right out of you? Have you noticed that you always walk away from them, feeling far more uncertain about yourself, more physically tired, and significantly less focused on your goals? That heavy weight is not just a result of the casual topics you discussed, but it is a sign that something much deeper is moving beneath their words. Something negative is actively attaching itself to your spirit through their false sympathy and your sense of familiarity with them. This energy is not in your life to heal your old wounds, nor is it standing by your side out of a sense of true loyalty or love. The specific timing of this message matters immensely right now, because they are quickly nearing a moment they have been waiting for and you are currently being prepared by the divine to finally see what has been hidden from your view. A time is rapidly approaching when their mask will no longer be able to stay on their face. Not because they choose to take it off, but because a power greater than them will rip it away. When that moment arrives, you will no longer have to go searching for proof of their betrayal, because the undeniable proof will come straight into your path for you to see. You were never meant to face this difficult situation all by yourself, which is exactly why the spiritual warnings have been getting louder and louder each day. This is the exact reason why the signs keep multiplying around you, why your night temporary rest is constantly interrupted, and why your mental focus feels so blurred lately. None of this is a mere coincidence, but it is a divine preparation for the truth that is about to surface very soon. You have already felt this shift happening in the strange way that things in your life sometimes break apart completely, right before they reveal the blessings hidden inside of them. The total truth is about to come to the surface, and when it finally breaks through, you will instantly remember these specific words of warning. The person with the initial letter M is absolutely not who they claimed to be when they first entered your world. They carefully built a false version of themselves that was aimed directly at fulfilling your specific needs, soothing your personal pain, and feeding your highest hopes. They watched you closely in complete silence for a long time and said only the exact things that they knew would pull you closer to them. But their true intentions were never pure, and they are currently carrying a negative energy that simply does not belong in your life anymore. They are deeply tied to a past situation that you are about to leave behind forever, which is the exact reason why they try so hard to stay physically close to you. They want to delay your spiritual progress, influence your daily choices, and sway your mind away from your true destiny. There is something else you must know, which is that they willingly took part in an action that would bring you deep grief if you ever found out the full details of it. That hidden betrayal is the exact reason why your inner spirit can never truly rest or find peace whenever you are standing around them. Your inner voice has been quietly screaming at you to run away, but you chose to stay silent because you did not want to seem overly emotional or unnecessarily suspicious to the people around you. However, silence can quickly become a dangerous prison, and you were never created by the divine to be trapped by someone else's half-truths and manipulation. You have been blessed with spiritual eyes that are fully capable of seeing through the darkest shadows, but sometimes you forget your own gifts and doubt your inner strength because you are just so tired of holding everything together on your own. This is definitely not the time for you to give up your awareness, but rather, it is the exact moment to sharpen your focus and pay attention to the details. You do not need to have every single answer to your questions right this second, as you simply need to follow the protective light that is being shown to you by the angels. You will be completely protected from harm if you choose to follow this guidance, and you will be safely removed from the negative things that are currently being formed against you in secret. Do not ever go back to the toxic place or the relationship that keeps your spirit feeling heavy and discouraged. Do you feel how certain names immediately stir up an uncomfortable feeling inside of your stomach the moment you hear them spoken aloud? That physical and emotional reaction is not random at all, because names carry deep spiritual meaning, ancient memory, specific frequencies, and powerful vibrations. That specific name that starts with the letter M is being brightly highlighted by the angels today for a very specific reason. There are certain times when deceptive people slip into your social circle just long enough to sow seeds of confusion. And this person has gotten incredibly good at pretending to help you. They make themselves look highly supportive on the outside while they are slowly and secretly shifting your personal boundaries to benefit themselves. Even if they are capable of faking their kindness very well for a short period, they cannot remain consistent in their lie forever. That inconsistency is exactly when their behavior will start to unravel completely, allowing you to finally see who they really are behind closed doors. Pay close attention to who changes their attitude toward you the moment your life begins to improve and blessings multiply. Notice carefully who gets quieter and more distant as you rise higher in your career, your relationships, and your spiritual journey. Notice who suddenly stops asking you deep questions about your well-being once you start asking your own questions about their strange behavior. You will soon see that the person with the initial M will pull away from you entirely when the truth gets closer to them. They do not pull away because they are afraid of the concept of truth itself, but rather because they are absolutely terrified of your specific truth. They know that your personal freedom and spiritual awakening would immediately mean the total end of their control over your life. There are several throwaway lines and casual jokes they have said to you in the past that you probably brushed off as nothing important at the time. I urge you to go back in your memory and listen carefully to those phrases, noticing the clever deflections and the odd emotional reactions they had. Your inner spirit caught those red flags instantly when they occurred, but your logical mind chose to smooth them over in order to keep the peace. Do not ever let that happen again, because the next time they try it, the realization will land much harder in your heart. You will feel it immediately, and you will finally know the massive difference between true loyalty and a calculated strategy meant to use you. This warning is not being delivered to you today to frighten your heart, but it is meant to prepare you so that you are never blindsided by betrayal. It ensures that you do not walk into a room expecting peace when someone else has already intentionally set the atmosphere for conflict and chaos. The initial letter M keeps showing up vividly in your thoughts for a very valid reason. So please do not dismiss it or make any more excuses for their bad behavior. You are absolutely not imagining this situation as something wonderful that was meant for your life was actively delayed because of your toxic connection to this person. The blessing you have been praying for paused not because you were unready to receive it, but because their negative influence was not safe to carry forward into your bright future. Right now, in this very moment, you are being given a beautiful chance by the divine to finally release this burden and reclaim your life. The exact moment you choose to let go of what your spirit is urging you to drop, your blessings will line up perfectly once again and begin to flow directly to you without any more blockages. Trust with all your heart that you are being watched over by holy forces and that this message confirms everything you have been wondering about in total silence. You do not need to fear what comes next in your story because you simply need to walk forward in absolute clarity. True clarity shows up the moment you finally stop explaining away the red flags that your intuition already confirmed to you a long time ago. They desperately wanted you to depend on them because they wanted to feel absolutely necessary to your personal journey. But the beautiful future you are currently stepping into requires absolute truth at every single level, which means no surface truths or convenient half-truths, but only the full light of the divine. The person with the initial M cannot stand the heat of the full light, so they will always try to keep things vague, casual, and uncertain. They avoid making real commitments to you and probe your mind just enough to make you second-guess your own sanity and choices. You are being completely restored by the angels right now. Your personal strength is coming back to you in full force, and the part of your soul that used to shrink just to fit around the comfort of others will no longer be available to them. Something holy is calling your name toward total wholeness today, pulling you out of the shadows of manipulation and placing you firmly back into the truth. You will never miss out on what is truly meant for you, and you will never lose the destiny you were born to carry. But you must choose to walk forward with your eyes wide open from this day on. This is your official turning point. This is the clean page where your story shifts, and this is the moment you reclaim your power from the shadows. This old chapter of your life is finally closing, not because you have failed in any way, but because you are finally ready to embrace what is real and authentic. There is absolutely no need for you to force connections or situations that no longer fit the person you are becoming. The presence of the individual with the initial M has already fully served its purpose in your journey, which was to show you exactly what to avoid, what to guard your heart against, and what you need to release. Very soon, you will come across a specific message, a social media post, or hear a piece of news that will unexpectedly confirm every single thing written here, and you must not doubt it when it arrives. It will feel as though time freezes for a split second. The loud world around you will go completely quiet, and deep inside your soul, you will know that this is exactly what you needed to see. When that pivotal moment arrives, choose to respond with wisdom by refusing to react out of raw emotion or fighting for explanations, and instead simply step away. Move confidently toward what is true and walk away from anything that pulls you backward, because a true blessing can only enter your life when your path is completely clear. You have carried enough confusion and endured enough sudden shifts in behavior, but now divine clarity is your true inheritance. Trust with all your heart that what is being revealed to you right now is meant for your ultimate healing, as it is not here to burden you, but to bless you, and it is not here to tear you down, but to realign you with the beautiful life that was always meant for you. You will not fall down, you will not fail, and you will definitely not be consumed by this situation, because you are going to rise above it. You are going to see everything with perfect clarity and be completely free from the negative influence that has been hiding in plain sight for far too long. This message did not find you by accident today, but it arrived at the exact moment your heart was spiritually ready to receive it. The person whose name begins with the letter M is about to be fully revealed, and you are being perfectly positioned to see them for who they truly are for the very first time. Stay awake, stay discerning, and most of all, stay entirely true to yourself, because the truth is your absolute protection. My dear child, someone from the higher realms is giving you a very serious warning about this person with the initial M. You have already noticed the warning signs during your quietest moments, times when no one else was watching, and the only sound in the room was your own breath and that soft inner voice whispering things you simply could not ignore. You tried your best to push those thoughts away, telling yourself that you were just overthinking the situation, and you constantly made excuses for their strange behavior. You deeply hoped that their sudden silences were just a coincidence and not a calculated move to manipulate you, but something deep inside your spirit simply would not rest. Now heaven itself is speaking directly to you, and this is not a moment for you to panic, but rather a moment for you to truly understand. Everything that has felt confusing and chaotic in your life is about to become beautifully clear, because you are not alone in this season of revealing. The Divine One, who sets your heart to beat in perfect rhythm with the truth, has stepped into this hour right alongside you. He is never late, and he is never unsure of his timing, for he knows exactly what was hidden in the dark and precisely why it was kept from you. He allowed your innocent heart to love through all the uncertainty because he was using that time to shape your character. But now the hour for complete revelation has finally come. That name starting with the letter M is not just a random name, but it is a specific thread in your life story that is about to be pulled to unravel the deception. You did not choose to be suspicious of them, but instead you chose to trust them, which is a holy and beautiful trust that is seen and remembered by heaven. However, even the purest trust needs boundaries and guidance, and heaven is providing you with that necessary guidance right now. Listen very carefully, still your racing heart, and do not rush ahead into the future out of fear, because there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. Nothing has been lost, and this is simply an intentional unveiling. This experience is not a punishment for your past mistakes, but it is a powerful act of divine protection. The truth of the matter is that this individual with the initial M intentionally wove themselves into your daily life using a deceptive thread of false familiarity. They made themselves seem completely harmless and even comforting to be around, using sweet words and keeping their presence strangely persistent in your world. They easily slid into your daily conversations and your deepest emotions, yet all the while they carried a heavy shadow that they never revealed to you. They were always very quick to point out other people's faults and mistakes, but they kept their own flaws completely hidden, cleverly dressing up their true intentions as a form of deep loyalty to you. Still, there were many times when your chest would tighten up when they were near, and you mistakenly blamed yourself for feeling that uncomfortable way. You must realize that your intuition was not the problem, and God has simply waited for the perfect moment to pull back the curtain on them, which starts right now. You are not meant to confront this person out of anger or fear, but instead you are being called to wake up into absolute clarity. Heaven is showing you not only the things that were explicitly said, but also the things that were never said, including the heavy silences that carried hidden meaning, the tiny changes in their facial expressions that you missed, and that unsettled feeling your spirit could not quite name. Now you can finally name it for what it truly is, and knowing that God is with you changes every single thing in your favor. There is a sacred record kept in heaven of every single night you cried all alone, every time you knelt to pray for someone who might not have been praying for you, and every bit of trust you gave away so freely. God saw your pure heart and decided that you will not be left sitting in the dark any longer. Finally, God is exposing what you desperately needed to see, not to punish or shame you, but to set you completely free from the trap. You are absolutely not crazy, and you are definitely not imagining things. That odd message you received, that weird hesitation in their voice, and that quiet, envious look they gave you when you mentioned your biggest dream were all incredibly real. You felt that negativity for a valid reason, because the Holy Spirit inside of you was fully alive, and it recognized the deception. And now, heaven has officially confirmed it for you. The person with the initial M may not be out to actively destroy your life, but they certainly were not here to help you grow into your highest self either. Their presence in your life has acted as a test, a mirror, a heavy brake on your natural momentum, and a dark shadow over your morning joy. It is finally time for your spirit to breathe fresh air again, because you were not wrong to be kind, and you were not foolish to love them. You are simply being taught how to properly discern between the good and the bad. If you want to donate or show your appreciation for this guidance, type 4044 to claim this message for your life. You have officially stepped into a brand new spiritual season where the things that used to be allowed in your life are no longer permitted by the divine. The toxic cycle is breaking, and the repetitive loop is finally ending. And while it might hurt your heart to let go of the beautiful picture you originally had of this person, God is not asking you to stop caring about people. He is simply asking you to start listening to his warnings, because there is someone else he is actively preparing to bring into your life. This new person is someone who will never feel jealous when you shine brightly, and who will never feel threatened by your personal growth. But that pure soul cannot arrive while the individual with the initial M is still occupying the center of your personal space. God is never removing people from your life to punish you, but He is removing them to completely release you into your destiny. This current moment is deeply sacred because something invisible but powerful has shifted in the atmosphere, and you will soon notice it in how you are able to breathe more deeply, how your night's sleep becomes truly restful, and how your eyes finally stop searching the anxious silence of the other person. God is not only exposing the total truth about M, but He is also fully restoring the powerful inner voice inside of you that had been quieted down for so long. You are about to speak differently, walk differently, and think differently, because the truth always sets you free, and you are being freed right now. The divine says to you, I am here, and I always was by your side, and I only allowed what you could not yet see, because I was carefully preparing the exact moment when your eyes would be strong enough to look at the truth and not turn away. That promised moment is happening right now, and you will not fall apart under the weight of it. You will rise up, and when you do, the heavens will rejoice, not because someone failed you, but because you successfully passed the test of trust by staying kind and gentle through it all. Now you are being given absolute clarity. And someone from the heavenly realms is giving you this serious warning, because the voice you have heard in your dreams, the sudden urge to check an old message again, and that strange sense that things do not add up are not paranoia, but they are a direct spiritual revelation. God is in your room right this very second, so let your inner spirit listen closely to what He is saying. You are not in any danger, and you are never alone. But you must not ignore what you now know to be true. Watch very closely over the next few days, because you will see even more signs and hear clear confirmations of what you have suspected all along. There will be noticeable slip-ups in their speech and messages sent that reveal far more than they ever meant to share. But do not rush to speak or confront them. And instead, let the Holy Spirit guide your steps so you will know exactly what to do. You will be shown the perfect moment to shift your focus away from them entirely. And the moment you do, true peace will enter your home and your heart once again. There is an even deeper truth you must understand about this situation, which is that the initial letter M is tied not only to a current person, but also to a painful memory from your past. This involves an old experience that you had almost fully healed from, but had not completely processed or let go of yet. This person with the initial M unknowingly triggered and brought that heavy memory back to the surface of your life. But you were always meant to face it at this specific time. You are encountering this old pain right now, not so that you will stay hurting or miserable, but so that you can finally be completely free from its weight forever. God is actively exposing the true motives of M, and simultaneously removing the negative hold that this old memory has held over your self-worth for all these years. You must remind yourself that you are simply not that same wounded person anymore. Because you have grown much stronger, you have become wiser through your experiences, and you are definitely not going to be left behind as you step into this beautiful new season of your life. If you ever feel tempted to doubt the truth of this spiritual message, please pause for a moment and remember all the specific times you felt a strong urge to walk away from this person without even knowing why you felt that way. Think about the exact moments you looked directly into their eyes and felt that there was something deeply missing that you could not quite name or explain. That uncomfortable sensation was absolutely not your imagination, but it was a clear spiritual signal sent to warn you. You are a naturally bright light in this world, and powerful lights always pull everything toward them, including wonderful blessings and things that are not good for you. However, you were never meant to dim your own brightness just to make other people feel comfortable, or to keep yourself feeling safe in a toxic dynamic. Now is the exact time for you to shine your light again, completely unapologetically, and without any fear of what others might think. You do not need to worry about having a stressful or dramatic confrontation with this person, because you will not even need to say very many words to them. Heaven is already working behind the scenes to arrange your circumstances so that you will be deeply honored instead of being harmed, and you will be lifted up instead of being left behind in the dark. You are completely safe, divinely covered, and beautifully guided through every step of this transition. Every single negative thing that is currently leaving your life is being permanently replaced with something much better, because God never removes something from your world without already preparing to restore you with something greater. A brand new table is being carefully set for you by the divine, where love is entirely pure, intentions are perfectly clear, and your peace of mind remains completely steady. Before you can fully experience that beautiful reality, this necessary unveiling must happen first. So you must allow their old deceptive words to fall away from your heart. Let the illusions break apart and watch the spiritual fog lift from your mind. You are absolutely not alone in this room right now, because the Holy Spirit is standing with you this very second, wrapping you in warm protective light and reminding you that your ultimate destiny was never in the hands of someone with unclear motives. Your future has always been held securely in God's hands from the very beginning. You can take a deep breath of relief because He is doing this work in your life very gently, very kindly, and very firmly. The individual with the initial M no longer has any power to write the chapters of your life story. You do not owe this person any long explanations or justifications for your choices, but you truly owe yourself your own freedom and peace. As a result of this divine intervention, you are going to sleep much better at night. You will find yourself laughing more genuinely, and you will naturally start to hum and sing again in the morning hours. This beautiful change is happening because a heavy, unseen chain has just broken in the spiritual realm, and you have officially been set free from the manipulation. You can now step back and let heaven finish the rest of the work on your behalf. So continue to trust the process, protect your peace, and pray.